All right. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. The intention of this clip is basically to give you guys what it is that you're looking for, which I understand are tips and, feedback or guidance on how to steer the car's direction at this point. And we've got Ken Munro on the call today with us. He is the founder of Entrepreneur Club, which is an awesome organization that is supporting youth to get back to their next steps in terms of their business, and understanding how to pave those next steps, but in particular with general business owners and the adult population as well. He is an entrepreneur who has vast experience and he has lots of nuggets, and I have had the opportunity to experience some of those nuggets, and I just want to be able to share that with you. So thank you so much, Ken, for joining us today. If you could start off with telling us a little bit about yourself, that would be fantastic for the viewers.
Sure, Tina. Thanks for reaching out to me. I'm excited to share some of my experience and wisdom with the entrepreneur and small business community in the Lower Mainland. A little bit about myself. I'm a lifelong entrepreneur with a formal training in accounting. Never actually practiced as an accountant, but I've found it to be an amazing set of tools for my career in business. I always take a financial perspective when I look at business and business transactions, and that's been a really great source of knowledge for myself over the years.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like that is a big one that I feel like everybody needs to pay attention to. I mean, if you don't know your numbers don't lie, right? I'm sure
Exactly.
that's probably your coined phrase. So that's
So
for
true.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
very true. Very true. So I feel like having that expertise tied into being an entrepreneur, you almost have like an extra, extra kind of building block with that one, no?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really part of the basics of all business, and it allows you to look at a transaction or an operation and take into account all of the aspects of the business, not just the sexier side, which is often marketing and promotion and design and those types of things. But it's really an integral part of every business.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the foundation, right? I mean, at the end of the day, business owners are there is whys attached to it, but without having profit or, you know, having abundance, it won't circulate. So that's for sure. I'm sure most viewers on the call are wondering how to make that happen to, you know, be able to appreciate and enjoy the things that we have in life.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
So what made you go into your profession in the first place? And I mean the entrepreneurial part specifically.
Yeah, well, I spent 30 years in various entrepreneurial pursuits. My last 4 years, I built a healthcare startup in Alberta, which we grew from 0 to 10,000 patients within 24 months. And then we went on to build two
Wow.
additional locations. The growth we experienced had never been seen in the industry. And after 4 years, it felt like time to move on. So I moved my family to the West Coast in search of better weather, which we found, and new adventures. So that kind of brought us out here.
That's amazing. That's a lot of growth. And what do you feel like was the key thing that led to such exponential growth in such a short period of time?
It really was taking a lot of the skill sets that weren't typically used in the healthcare sector and applying them to that industry. So prior to opening our first clinic, I toured almost 100 clinics, everything from birthing clinics. I didn't even know that existed at the time, to chiropractic, medical, dentistry. And I really wanted to get a good feeling of what was happening in the industry, what the focus was of each type of practice, how it operated, what the customer experience was, how best to spread the message of what you were bringing to market. That a really well-rounded approach, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's not just one thing, but all of it coming together, I guess, is what creates that, right? That growth. That's
Absolutely.
fantastic. And so what makes you love being an entrepreneur? Obviously, you steered from being an accountant to entrepreneur and staying in it for 30 years for a reason. So what is that?
Yeah, I love the excitement of being an entrepreneur. I love the flexibility that it is provided in my life. Um, and I like creating things, and I like helping people, and I like solving problems. And that really is the basis of what entrepreneurship is.
That's very true, hey. Like when you said it, it was just such an aha moment. It is about solving problems, isn't it?
Yeah,
And a
absolutely.
lot of those innovative ideas come out of like there's something that causes that person to feel like there is a need.
Yeah, totally. And some of the greatest innovations that the planet has ever seen really came from entrepreneurs who recognized an issue or a struggle and decided to create a solution for it.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And so obviously this is an interesting time and there's a lot of change, a lot of evolution. And I'm wondering, what do you suggest to people during times like this? Because, as being an entrepreneur, I mean, COVID is something that's kind of all around. We're all experiencing it globally, but there's always times in entrepreneurial experience that you have the ups and downs. So I'm wondering, what do you suggest to people during times like this?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the reality of being an entrepreneur is that there's going to be ups and downs, and in life in general is a roller coaster at times. We quickly forget about the down times that we experience in our entrepreneurial journey, and we seem to elevate the up times in our recollection. But the reality is, it's a mixture of both, and it will always be both. And what we're experiencing right now with COVID is just one of those down times that we're cycling through. And I guess my biggest piece of advice to people is to start believing that there is a future.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't that the truth, right? It's just that concept of hope and just like really focusing on what those next steps are to hold that vision of the future, right? So
Yeah.
that's very powerful. And I'm sure like you've obviously been interacting with a lot of people. That's kind of something we spoke about. And you've been really busy trying to reach out to, people within the community and just supporting people who are, maybe, sinking into that negative thinking. What are you noticing about people's thought patterns right now?
What I'm noticing, and it seems to be universal, is people are paralyzed right now from fear, from the unknown. That's kind of human nature. Is that you either slip into fight or flight mode naturally, and I think we're kind of stuck as a population between both. We know we can't flee the situation because the situation's everywhere, and we don't know how to fight the situation. So we're kind of, I think, turtling. We're kind of like pulling our heads into our shell right now, and sort of like waiting for the bombs to drop around us. um I guess that's really concerning to me at this time, because I really think that there is a future. I think we have some challenges ahead, no question. But I think we have to get back to allowing us ourselves to dream again. And as entrepreneurs, we we need to dream and to start looking at solutions and start looking at what lies ahead.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And I think that that's the essential thing is your business needs you the most. So it's really important to just like, reset things as often as you can, maybe some days, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really important at this time, because we all have an abundance of free time on our hands, like it or not. I think it's time to look at your business. And I have a little term that I like to use. You should look at your business through what I call honest eyes. So entrepreneurs, we often get stuck in ruts, and we often choose not to look at our businesses from an objective view. Of course, you love your branding and your logo. Of course, you love your product and your service. Your business is like a child. You love it without judgment. And sometimes in business, you need to be judgmental of your baby. It's a hard reality, but it's called tough love, and it's no different than sometimes having to employ that in your family household with your children. You also have to do it with your business. And I think right now is
Hmm.
a really great time for everybody to sort of pause and reflect, look at your business in detail, and really determine what that future might look like.
Absolutely. And if you guys, I hope you guys are writing down notes, because it's in between these beautiful sentences that there is the secret little nugget. So honest eyes. The next time you are trying to get some perspective in your business, just remember that sentence, because that is what will give you clarity, I find, to be able to reset things. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and during this time, Ken, what are some actionable tips and tools to pivot your business right now?
Yeah. So when I'm speaking with small business people on a day-to-day basis, I start off with my number one tip, and it's engage, engage, engage. It's likely the most important action that you can do right now. Stay in contact with your customer base, reach out to your customer base, remind them that you're still there for them. Even if you're in a business that's temporarily closed and you're not able to operate under, revised conditions, or a new set of rules, make sure your customers know that you're still there, you're still, interested in serving them. Because it's really important that they hear that at this time too. And I think some of the ways to do that is to create and post content, and do lots of it. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, do lots of it. And at the beginning, you will it might be out of your comfort zone. You may not know what to create. You don't know where to post it. I have a couple of brothers who own a small business in Abbotsford, and I've been mentoring with them for the last 6 weeks. And we had a call yesterday, a follow-up call, and they said, Ken, we can't thank you enough. Like,
Oh,
we really took this to heart. And they do. I follow them on social media. I really watch what they're doing, and they really hit it hard, and they just started posting and posting and posting and posting and creating amazing content. And they said yesterday to me, they said, it's unbelievable that the response that they've got from their community, their customers are really engaged. New people have started following them and have become engaged with what they're doing. And it has totally shifted their mindset of what their future looks like.
wow. Wow. And you know what? It's like the biggest thing I'm getting from what you're saying is action. Like engage means action to me. So it's not thinking about it, trying to get it right, etc. It was just like you gave them that guidance and they took it, which is the biggest part, right?
Yeah.
And and that's what they produced as a result. That's amazing.
Absolutely. And they're like everybody else. They were nervous to go on camera. They didn't know if anybody wanted to see their content. They were unsure what to post. All of those same fears that we have that keep us from doing, things.
Right.
They just put those fears aside, and they jumped in with blind faith.
Yeah.
And they are just so thrilled with what they've achieved at this point. And I think in addition to that, it's really important to be active with social media. And I'm not talking about just scrolling through pages and pages and pages of things. I, as a small business person and a small business community member, I like to tell people that they need to really engage with social media. And what does that mean? It means a like, a follow, a comment, and a direct message. So don't just like a post or follow a business. Make sure you leave a comment. You know, if it's a restaurant posting, you know, an amazing looking meal, just drop a comment, wow, that looks amazing, or, you know, I can't wait to try you guys out. Because the algorithms of social media really depend on comments being made, and that's the best way that a small business person can support a fellow small business person.
Yeah.
And then I won't let people stop there. Send a direct message. If you follow somebody, immediately stop and send them a direct message. It is extremely powerful, and people are wanting to interact with people right now. So when somebody stops and takes a moment and sends a direct message, you'll be shocked at what level of engagement you get. It actually is, you know, how you and I met, Tina.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what differentiated you for me. You know, we see, you know, the odd message here and there, but never was it have I seen one to this day on our company page where it was personal, it was intentional, and it was genuine. And I think, you know, this is what came out of it. What this wonderful thing where we're able to share this conversation and give back to other human beings, you know. So I think that a lot of things can come of that. And I think that what I got from that, again, guys, two things that really stuck out in the last part of this conversation: blind faith. Okay, so that is a paradox, but that's it exactly. Take action even though it feels like you don't even, you can't see 100 feet ahead, right? And the other one being that there's 4 items that Ken just mentioned: like, comment, follow, and direct message. That fourth one as well, you know, and just kind of what I just get from that is just being intentional, just being super mindful and intentional with the action we're taking.
Yeah, and I'll repeat it again. You'll be shocked at the level of engagement that comes back at you.
Yeah,
Really well. And um, people recognize sincerity, people recognize good intentions, and people want to support small businesses and support, you know, our community in general. So taking that little effort to reach out to somebody and just say, hey, I love what you're doing, you know, maybe we could connect sometime. It's just a little step that can have huge results.
absolutely. It's funny, Ken, because during this time, the first thing that came to this whole thing happened was, okay, how do we contribute? And I swear to you, we have never had so much engagement or likes on our page as we have since we started making it about how do we support local businesses. And that's, you know, that's not our business is commercial rentals, right? Commercial office rent. But it was amazing. And I was like, huh, doesn't that seem really simple? It's just, but you know, it's got to be genuine. I think that's the part is when you really make it about others, I really think that ripple will come forth. And sure, at first it may not even seem like it, but I truly believe that those are the seeds that you're planting. And eventually it will flourish.
Yeah, absolutely. People, everybody is in a state of you know, pause right now in their lives, in their personal lives, in their business lives. People want to support the small business community. People recognize how important small business is to this country. People want to get back to where they can, you know, interact with small businesses and go back to some of the routines that they previously, you know, practiced or enjoyed. So, you know, staying active, engaging with as many people as possible. Direct messaging is such an important, you know, tool to do that. But really, just stay active on there, create and post content as much as you possibly can. I promise that that will have profound impacts on your businesses.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. I so enjoy these conversations because they're just refreshers and just recognition of where it is that I need to improve in our business or we need to improve in our business. And I feel that's really monumental. And so, folks, if you're wondering about more tips, we first of all, we have a little surprise for you. So, one is that Ken has been ever so generous to provide his time available for those of you who want to reach out to him for some consulting. I highly, highly recommend it during this time. Do not sit and wallow and wonder what you're going to do. Ask for experience. Ask it from somebody who's already experienced a lot of this during his roller coaster rides, I'm sure. And it's incredibly valuable to have somebody make that time for you at this point, anyways. And so please, please, please reach out to Ken, and we'll be sharing his contact information below with Entrepreneur Club, so you can get in touch with him. Also, I should say, if your youth or if yourself are interested in general about understanding more about Ken's programs, please look into that as well. And last but not least, we are going to get into the meat and potatoes of pivoting your business. And that'll be going on our next call. So please stay tuned. If you're interested in understanding more, follow us and find out more about that. And we'll let you know when the next clip will be. Hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Ken, thank you so much for tuning in and basically being with us today.
Absolutely. I love this. I love this opportunity to reach out to as many of the small business community as we possibly can. As you mentioned just a minute ago, I have actively posted on my own social media that I am more than willing to engage with other small business owners across the Lower Mainland for free. This is a no strings attached offer. I truly believe in working with small businesses and collaborating with small businesses and building relationships. So this is the time for all of us to really work together to make sure that we all come out of this, as good or better than when we went into this situation. So feel free to reach out. I'm happy to have some conversations, and you never know. It never hurts to talk.
That is very, very true. Communication for sure. Can never go wrong with communication. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And yeah, stay tuned for our next clip of Pivoting Your Business. Take care.
Take care, guys.